What happens when Hollywood's most iconic comeback story collides with one of daytime television's most controversial voices? The result, a televised clash that spirals into accusations, raw confessions, and a walk-off so intense it left the studio in stunned silence. From the moment Robert Downey Jr. stepped onto the set of The View, something felt off. Promoting his latest film, the once troubled actor and now celebrated as a symbol of resiliency was greeted warmly by Whoopi Goldberg, Sarah Haynes, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, but Joy Behar, her smile was thin, her posture tense. Something was brewing. "Let's talk about your past," Joy began, skipping the pleasantries. "Your addiction, the arrests, prison. How do audiences trust someone who spent so long making such destructive choices?" The tension was immediate. Robert raised an eyebrow but kept his cool. "That's why people trust me, Joy, because I've been honest about my journey. I faced my demons in public. I've got nothing left to hide." But Joy wasn't buying it. "How many times did you promise to change before it actually stuck?" she pressed. "How many people did you hurt? Your family, your coworkers, the studios?" Sarah tried to steer the conversation toward lighter ground, but Joy cut her off. "What makes this time different, Robert?" she continued. "Why should we believe this version of you?" His smile tightened. "Because I've been consistent. I've stayed sober. I've rebuilt my life. That's not a fluke, it's a choice I make every single day." Joy didn't let up. "That's convenient," she said, almost spitting the word. Robert sat up straighter. "Convenient?" he echoed. "There's nothing convenient about rebuilding a life from scratch." Joy's voice sharpened again. "Would you have had the chance to rebuild if you weren't Robert Downey Jr., talented, charming, profitable? Let's not pretend everyone gets the same shot." His tone shifted, a calm but edged with steel. "So my redemption doesn't count because others weren't given the same opportunity? That's not how change works, Joy. It doesn't become invalid because it's rare." Joy's expression turned colder. "I'm just saying, maybe we shouldn't celebrate comeback stories when they're built on privilege." The studio fell into stunned silence. Robert leaned forward. "You're not interested in truth. You're interested in discrediting someone who's worked hard to become better, and that says a lot more about you than it does about me." Joy fired back. "So now I'm the villain, for asking real questions?" "You're not asking questions," Robert said. "You're declaring that recovery is a PR stunt. You're saying people like me can't change." Her voice rose. "I'm saying people should be held accountable. That charm doesn't erase the damage done, and I've been held accountable," Robert replied, his voice rising. "I lost my career, I lost trust, I went to prison. What more do you want from me?" "I want you to stop pretending like you're an inspiration," Joy said. "You got lucky, that's the truth." Robert froze. "I am lucky," he admitted. "Lucky to be alive, lucky that people didn't give up on me, but that doesn't make my sobriety fake, it makes it a miracle." Joy didn't flinch. "Miracle or not, you're still just a drug addict who got lucky." Gasps echoed through the studio. Sarah went pale. Alyssa sat motionless. Robert didn't yell, he didn't flinch. He looked her dead in the eye. "And there it is," he said softly, "the real Joy Behar, not a journalist, not a truth seeker, just someone who thinks people can't change, who's more comfortable keeping others in the gutter." Joy's hands were shaking now. "Don't psychoanalyze me, Robert. You don't know me, and you don't know me," he replied. "You only know the version of me that failed, but you're so determined to keep me there, you can't even see the man in front of you." He turned to the audience and cameras. "To anyone watching this who's struggling with addiction or failure, let me say this: you can change. Recovery is real. Redemption is possible. Don't let anyone, not even someone with a platform, convince you otherwise." Joy's voice cracked. "You're just going to walk away, because I didn't pat you on the back?" "These weren't tough questions, Joy," Robert said. "This was a character assassination, and I won't participate in it." He stood, calmly removing his mic. "You know what's really tragic?" he added, Somebody out there was watching this today, hoping for a sign that change is possible, and instead, they were told that once you fall, you stay down. Joy's eyes flashed. "You're not the victim here." "I'm not trying to be," he said, "but today, you made it clear, no matter what I do, to you I'll always be that addict in a mugshot, and that's your failure, not mine." Then he looked straight at her. "You call this journalism, I call it cruelty, and I won't be part of it." And with that, Robert Downey Jr. walked off the set, leaving behind a room frozen in stunned silence. It wasn't just a dramatic exit, it was a statement, a rejection of the idea that people are forever tied to their worst moments, a defense of redemption, of hope, of growth. In the end, he didn't just walk out of an interview, he walked away from the toxic belief that some people are beyond saving. And maybe, in that moment, he reminded the world of what real strength looks like.